What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. On today's video, we're going to be talking about why you should not want to feel fearless all the time. Alright, that's better, y'all. So, over the past few years, I've collected thousands of fears, literally like thousands of written fears and virtual fears from audiences across the country. And in my audiences, and as I'm speaking in front of people, I often ask you all to answer. So I want you all to answer this for yourself in the comments. Do you want to feel fearless all the time? What is your answer to that? Go ahead and drop it in the comments and answer why. So here's my answer, and here's what I believe. No, you should not want to feel fearless all the time. And I know y'all are like, okay, this guy got on fearless hoodies. The channel is called More Fearless Moments. But here's the thing, y'all. I do not believe that you should feel fearless all the time. What I want for you, you will hear me say this on multiple videos, what I want from you is to have more fearless moments. Moments where like you might be talking to someone, you might be about to have that conversation, you might be about to start that business, you might be about to apply for that job, whatever it is, right? You feel that nervousness, you feel that anxiety, you feel that worry, but yet you act anyway to have those fearless moments, acting through that fear, acting through that anxiety. So here's what I want you all to imagine real quick. Imagine this real quick. I want you to imagine it's late at night and you're walking throughout your neighborhood, right? You're walking throughout your neighborhood, and as you like walk across the street, like you see this house, right? And you see this house, and from this house there's like some sort of smoke coming from the chimney, but not from the chimney, but like you see some smoke coming from the top of the house. And as you see that smoke coming from the top of the house, it's not like smoke like there's some sort of like a Santa coming from the chimney or anything like that, but this is smoke as though like there's a fire, right? So you run over to your neighbor's house because you see the car in the driveway. You run over, you knock on the door. The neighbor finally comes down, and as they come down and open the door, they're looking kind of drowsy, right? Looking kind of drowsy, looking kind of like tired. You're like, yo, your house is on fire, all that good stuff, right? So your neighbor, the family is saved, all that. But as months go on, right, your neighbor never says thank you. They never give you a pat on the back. And even as you walk through the neighborhood and you see your neighbor, they look at you now with some sort of disgust, right? As though you did something wrong. That's what your neighbor does. Now let's pause for a moment. The way that your neighbor responded to you is often how you respond to fear when it comes into your life. There are so many great things that fear offers us, but yet when it comes into our life, when we feel those butterflies, when we know it's time to make that step, to have that conversation, to start that business, to join that organization, whatever that is, right? We freeze up and we don't give fear the thank you that we need to give it. So fear in itself is a good thing. Fear is only bad when we misuse it, when we don't use it the way it should be used in our life. So let's go through 3 ways that fear can be good for your life. The first one is fear alerts you to danger, y'all. We know this. So imagine if you couldn't swim, right? And you had no fear, right? You'll be swimming out in the ocean, doing your thing, feeling all right until you realize that you can't swim and you can't get back. Imagine some of the things that you would maybe not touch up, but things that you would touch or pick up or do because you had no fear when it could be dangerous to your life. So I don't know if y'all heard about this, so check this out. There was a patient that scientists studied for a while named SM. I think her scientific name was SM046. She was an actual real person. Check her out. So look at this picture on the screen, right? This picture, you will see her brain versus like a normal brain. And as you can see on this photo, her amygdala, which handles like fear and those fear responses, she had a disease that messed up her amygdala. So therefore, she would go into haunted houses, she would watch scary movies, and she would feel no fear, right? She could pick up spiders, snakes. She wouldn't even be able to see and notice certain people's facial expressions. She got robbed once, y'all, and didn't even react the way that some of us would react. Another thing that happened was she was often known to get too close to people's personal spaces. So all of those cues that sometimes that amygdala, that fear response gives us is so helpful. So that's why one of the ways I say is like, say thank you when you feel those fear responses, because it means it's working. It means it's good for your life. Can you imagine for a moment if you didn't have that initial fear response that was meant to keep you from danger? Our lives would be totally different. So that's the first thing. Fear alerts you to danger in your life. So the second thing fear allows you to do, it allows you to see who you truly are. So when you feel that fear and you are able to act and push through that and overcome that thing, you're able to feel that power within yourself and realize, you know, what you are always capable of doing. So for me, y'all, one of my, I would say, worries or fears was that I would have to one day do my presentation without everything that I usually do it with. So for example, in my presentations, I have music, I have videos, I have all these pictures that like kind of like guide the audience through like the presentation. So I spoke at this school 2 years ago, y'all. So I usually get to the school around 2 hours. I usually get to the school around 1 hour before I speak. So I got to the school, opened up like the, trying to unpack, got out the fire pits and different things that I use in my presentation. And I'm looking through my car, like looking through, and I can't find my backpack. The backpack that I literally have my laptop and everything in, can't find it. So I realized that I left my computer at home at that point, y'all. There's no way to go back because I had a flight after that. There was no way to go back and get my computer. So here's what happened. I had one of my friends, amazing photographer, shout out to Ariel Perry, had her with me. We're gonna be doing photos for that day. She had her laptop, so luckily I tried to download my presentation on her laptop. It wound up being probably around like 10 minutes before the presentation started, where I finally got this big presentation uploaded, only to realize that the place where I was at, the school I was at, even if I would have had my presentation perfect and ready to go, the sound system wasn't working. The screens, projector, all that stuff wasn't working. So what does that mean, y'all? I had to like push through and overcome one of those worries and fears, and I had to do my presentation without any music, without any slides, none of that. Have never totally done that a full hour before.
How you feeling?
Feeling interesting, so sound doesn't work, slides don't work. If you know anything, like I use that a lot in my presentations to make the experience, so first time ever with this audience, with any audience without it. So this is part of that fearless energy. You like use the band, get out there and get it done. I got Ariel's watch so I can know what time it is. We're gonna flow, baby. Let's do it. So here's what happened. So I did it. I wound up going really, really well. After I finished speaking, the president of the university came up to me afterwards and was like, "Yo, Darryl, like the presentation was amazing. Did really, really well." Not even knowing that he didn't get the full show, but he still thought it was great. And I share this story because this, y'all. Before that moment, I had in my mind that I was capable of doing it, right? But not only did my fear stop me from just doing it without having to do it, right? But once I was forced to do it, I felt that fear, I acted upon that, and here's the thing, y'all. I learned who I was and what I was truly capable of doing. So therefore, anytime after that, I'm now able to, if something goes wrong, I now stand confidently in knowing what I'm capable of. So for you, there were things that you were not pushing yourself to do, and you're gonna be forced to do sometimes. There are things that you are not stepping out of your comfort zone to do, and because of that, you are not realizing who you truly are. So the second thing fear allows us to do, especially when we're forced or asked to push through that, is it allows you to see who you truly are. So the third thing that fear allows is it allows life to be exciting, y'all. So if I gave you all a book real quick, right, and it had everything that was going to be happening in your life going forward, all the ups, all the downs, all the struggles, all the great moments, all the lows, all of those things, would you read that book? Drop a yes or no in the comments if you would read it, yes or no. For me, I would choose no, because the great thing about life, the great thing about some of our fears is it allows us to push through those things. And if we knew everything that was going to be happening, if I knew that this was going to happen this day, y'all, life would be boring, right? It would not be as exciting as it is, even though when those things happen, y'all, when there are those bad times, it can sometimes not feel that way. But I want you all to know that fear allows excitement to come into our lives because it's challenging us, it's there to push us, just like we said, right? Remember when I talked about that neighbor with the burning house, right? How they didn't say thank you. That's what I want you to do, right? Is when you feel that fear, when you feel that anxiety, the main part of this video is to realize that fear is a good thing. Repeat that, use that affirmation, fear is good in my life, fear is good in my life, because of the three things that I mentioned in this video. The second thing is don't be afraid to actually identify and name what it exactly is stopping you from getting to that next level. So many times we don't sit down and write and journal and be able to just be honest with ourselves about what is stopping us. And the third thing quickly in this video will be to share that it's about those small steps, y'all, about those small steps that you take every single day. And it's not about the big steps. It's not about comparing yourself to other people and what they're doing and the moves that they're making in different places of their life. It's about figuring out what moves can you take. And even if it's small, even if it's that small conversation, even if it's that small piece of that website that you build, even if it's running for that office, whatever that is in your life, start by getting as small as you possibly comfortably can. Keep on pushing out of that comfortability, and you're gonna be amazed at what you achieve going forward. Y'all, feel free to like this video if it helped you in any way. Feel free to subscribe for more videos on having more fearless moments in life, business, and whatever it is that you're going through. And y'all, as always, I will meet you at the top. because the bottom is getting way too crowded, y'all. Peace. Have a good week.